Anyways, we are now live, broadcasting live from Fran Central. This is our show, Hanging with the Frans, with your lovable bandmates from Frantic Romantic. And we have a music guest on every Thursday from 8:30 to 9:30. Sometimes it's bands, sometimes it's, radio DJs, sometimes it's venue holders, et cetera, et cetera. And tonight we have this lovely, awesome band, Chickenbox. And the interesting and awesome thing about these folks is I've known a few of them for a while, and I've known one of them for a long, long, long while. So welcome aboard. Hi, and I believe this is my new friend, Jim.
Yes.
Yeah, hey, how you doing?
I'm well. Thanks for having us.
Oh, thanks for being on. It is a pleasure to have you here. So yeah, just to give you a bit of a heads up, I mean, this is a pretty free-flowing show. There's, no rules, no regulations. We just chat. We would love to chat about your music, and I hear that we may even hear some of your music if I remember correct, if I've been correctly informed. But yeah, how you guys doing?
We got some little samples for you coming from some tracks we're finishing up mixing for our album that we're putting together right now, and we've just got some bits in progress here that we thought we might kind of tease everybody with a little bit. But yeah,
absolutely. Well, I've given you share privileges, and just be sure to share computer audio as well, and people will hear it loud and clear. We have our guitarist that just joined us. His name is Ruben Beltran.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
The one and only.
Thanks for making some time and sitting here to hang with the friends.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Thanks for having us. We're excited.
Cool.
So, I would love to listen to some music. Let us know whenever you feel like jumping in and showing some music.
Why don't we play Drift Eternal first? That's a tune we released, so you could just hear one of our mixed tunes all the way, and then probably Jay can talk about what we're working on, and we can play some excerpts from some other stuff.
Absolutely.
Sound groovy?
Yeah, cool. So this tune's called Drift Eternal. It's one of the first ones we put together. You actually jammed on this one with us when we were first coming up with it.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Yeah.
Killer guitar tone, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. So I'll just give you guys a little bit of an idea of what we're about and what our sound kind of is. I think that song's pretty indicative of what we're going for.
Yeah. So you said this is off an EP that's forthcoming, or has this already been released?
We're putting this stuff together. That track that we just played is ready, and it's up on our SoundCloud for anybody who wants to go listen to it. Check it out. It's Chickenbox Band. Am I right, Jim? And Chickenbox is one word, everybody. Hashtag Chickenbox is one word.
Gotcha. I'll need to change that in the title card.
It's okay. We just don't want to get confused with the venue in Nantucket, known as the Chickenbox, which is 2 words, because they may come after us. I don't know if they're litigious or not. But shout out to the Chickenbox in Nantucket if you're watching.
Well, if
we hope to get a residency out there.
If they come after you guys, let me officially say they suck if they come after you guys.
I say you go after them.
Because you guys rock. Yeah, you should go after them.
Yeah, I say you guys just jump you just.
There's a whole story. Should I
you got to
take
the Cobra Kai approach to it. Strike first, man.
Yeah, Jim, you want to tell the story about our name?
Let's hear it.
Should I share that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So. Well, first of all, thanks again for having us. Nice to meet you, Ruben.
Nice to meet you too.
And Ezekiel. Awesome, Michael. So anyway, we were working on this band for a minute, for maybe a year. We were working on tunes, and we played a show. Well, no, we didn't quite play a show yet. And we were practicing all the time and writing stuff and putting together Jay's tunes that he already had. And then we were just kind of assimilating me into the mix and just putting, some finishing touches on things. But we're all stoked about it, but we didn't have a fucking name. So I love you, Jay, but I'm going to
I love you too, buddy.
But why didn't we have a name, right? So I'd be telling people with much excitement, we got this band, it's so sick. What are you called? And I'm like, oh, well, we don't have a name yet. And so my buddy got married in Nantucket. A good friend of mine, Kenny, you may be watching, I don't know. But he got married in Nantucket Island, and his bachelor party was essentially just him and I going to this, like, Nantucket's like this, like, you know, nobody can afford to live there, you know, unless you're like, you know, crooked politician, but, or like a great business person or something like that, you know. But we were on this island, it's beautiful, but we go to the only dive bar in the island, this place called the Chickenbox. And it's totally like the only dive bar on the island, literally. And that was his bachelor party, was us playing pool and having some beers and, you know, just, you know, reminiscing and all that kind of stuff. So I needed a hat. So I got this hat from there. And the chicken, right? And it says the box on the back, right?
Nice.
And I just get back from Nantucket. I was feeling like a rock star because my buddy's wife knows how to party. And for a week straight, we were having like I've never, ever in my life had a better time, really, like, for consistent weeks. So we got back, you know, I was all high in life, and we're at Jay's house recording some stuff. And he has a digital drum kit over there. So we're like working on Logic. And I'm kind of a smart ass. And me and Brian were sitting on the couch. And Brian's like my Ohio homie, because we're both from the same horrible place in Ohio.
Yep.
But we got out though. And so I was joking with Brian. I'm like, hey Brian, let's tell Jay we want to call the band Chickenbox, because I thought it was all in all a completely outrageous name and not fitting for this music that we're playing. It should be like from the depths of the sea to the ocean comes the dragon, should be like the name of our band, but it's or something like that. But I was like, let's put a fire under Jay and like tell me what to call the band Chickenbox. So me and Brian, we teamed up and to be, you know, a little bit evil, just 1/3 evil, and so we proposed this, and then Freddie, who's not here, our bass player, he actually liked the name. And we were like, I was like, that wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to be a joke. Like 100% was supposed to be a joke. And then so Freddie likes the name, but I was like, that's okay. Jay will think of something cooler because, like, listen to this music he thought of, you know, it's amazing. But it just snowballed, and we made the mistake of telling a couple people, and then it was just like a wildfire in California, and like everybody loved the name Chickenbox. So it just kind of stuck. And my good friend from Ohio, Brian Starkey, he made this logo for us just as a gift one day, just sent it to me. And I was like, that was really cool. So we've been using that for a minute, but that's the origin story of the band name. So it really did come from that
What I said is I
dive
would only consent to naming the band Chickenbox if the chicken in the box was like a cosmic chicken, and the box was like a tesseract in space. And then I believe I said, I'm okay with it if the chicken has eye lasers. Get me eye lasers. And so sure enough, the flyer we got for the show after that says Chickenbox playing at Trip Santa Monica, and I got my chicken with the tesseract and the laser eyes. So yeah, the cosmic chicken is now our official mascot. And I am going to paint him on a guitar one of these days. I swear to God, I'm going to make it happen.
And I think it was perfect because, like, you know, we all kind of fell in love with the chicken and Chickenbox, and it's kind of like this thing now. So it was like meant to be a joke, but it was like very serendipitous, you know.
No, it works, man. It works. I don't think people are going to assume we're country music, though. I don't know.
There's something to be said about you know, the accessibility of a name like that, right? Like you know, you're telling the world, hey, we're not treating ourselves like, you know, too seriously. I mean, you could still come and enjoy us, right? I mean,
we are progressive rock, and it's very easy to take yourself too seriously to the point of being ridiculous in this genre. So I think it's best to just get over all the pretense at the beginning, be like, nope, it's silly, and just own it, you know?
It's like the Korn approach. That's what Korn did. That's why they named themselves that, because they were like,
really?
They were like, Korn's a stupid fucking name, but it doesn't matter. It's about the music, you know? Chickenbox
really
is awesome, though, dude.
I played in the symphony up in Bakersfield, where Korn is from, and I wish Freddie was here for this. There's a street named after Korn that I took a picture of. It's like behind the concert hall, like where the train station runs. There's Korn Row or something, and it's like in the Korn font. And I'm just thinking, like, the mayor of Bakersfield had to come out and like christen that thing. There had to have been like a ribbon cutting or something, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they got their own street up there.
I'll find the flyer. I'll find the flyer and share it in a minute.
Oh, with the chicken?
Yeah, the laser eye chicken.
That story is very kismet. It's like very telling of like a whole journey. You know what I mean? You went to go do something, you had an experience, and it became the name of the band. That's awesome.
Yeah, and someday we are gonna play that shitty dive bar before the world ends. You know.
Oh, totally.
Definitely.
Another bit I left out. It's really comes full circle because my friend that got married, Kenny, we've been friends for a long time, and I go and visit him in Phoenix sometimes. And I went out there for a football game, and he picked me up, and he was playing that Tool album, like 10,000 Days, and I unfortunately, I have to admit this, I didn't listen to that record a lot, and I was like, and one of the tunes I just didn't recognize. I was like, "Is this Tool?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." And it's like, I'm like, I haven't listened to this song like ever. So I was just like, we jammed to that CD like all weekend long, and then I came back and I was just like, man, I need to be in a progressive rock band. And so I just like actually made a Facebook post one day. I'm like, I need to be in a progressive rock band. Anybody that wants to like kick it, just let me know. And then Jay like sent me a message like 4 days later or something like that. And, and then it was like, and that was the guy that got married in the Chickenbox. So it's kind of like,
I don't know if
connected.
I knew that part of it. I think I knew that, but I never put it together. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's totally funny. Same guy, Kenny.
Good times.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, especially our humble viewing audience, by the way, write in your questions and we'd be more than happy to ask your questions to our guests. The way Jay and I met was back in high school. I think I was a sophomore. And was it Smithy? Was it Smithy?
Yeah, Andrew Smith. Yeah. You guys were friends from art class, right?
Yeah, we're like, man, we're hoping. I think it was like we needed someone to help us record, and you had like a 4-track.
I owned a 4-track. I was the one person in San Ramon that owned a nice digital 4-track in the year 2000 or whatever it was.
Yeah, and I remember you came up to me and I said, "What's up?" And you said, "The sky." And I thought, this is a good guy. This is a good guy right here.
I'm witty as fuck, man.
But then you did the demo with us, and then you pulled us aside and you said, "Hey, you need a new bassist." And then we're like, "Hey, would you like to be our bassist?" And then you were our bassist for our high school.
In fairness, I didn't necessarily mean to full on tell you need a new bassist, but it's just I went back and listened to the recording we made and I realized none of the bass notes were like notes.
Right. Yeah.
And I just kind of, wanted to help you guys out with it. But it ended up, I think there was a nice little bit of serendipity there because I think when we started, I finished tracking the bass on that demo for you just so we could get it done. And then we started playing together. And I think that's where it went from there.
Yeah. It was good times.
Yeah, we played shows for several years up there in the Bay Area. I miss Scary Gary at Blake's.
I wonder what happened to him, dude.
Yeah, there was a booking agent that we used to book us in places in Berkeley, and I will never forget the guy. He was a hardcore punk rocker / vegan chef named Scary Gary, and he ran a high-end vegan catering business and also booked punk and metal shows. That guy was awesome.
I don't know if I ever told you this story, but later on, because I ended up working with him again back in junior college, and he sat me down once and he's like, "Hey, listen. If you're gonna do any drugs, do the natural stuff. Don't do the lab made stuff. So like,
Sounds like Gary.
if you're gonna do meth or heroin, do heroin. Don't do meth." And I was like, "Thanks, Gary."
Thanks, Gary. That's some great advice.
The lesser of the two evils, I guess.
Is it though? I mean, we can debate.
I would just, in general, just never take advice from that person.
Yeah, he was. I mean, well, when your skill set in life is booking punk shows, it's not like. But yeah, no, he was an interesting guy. Those were some good times. But yeah, I don't know. I was actually talking with Mike earlier, and I don't know if you guys, the other Chickenbox fellas, want to hear a little bit. We have some of our songs from our band in high school. If you want to hear a little bit of some old Caliber tracks, maybe like part of one of them. I think anyone
sure.
Else
I mean, I have it pulled up,
Yeah.
if you're curious.
Yeah, man, surprise me.
Absolutely.
Part of a song, maybe like the end of Catalyst or something. I don't know. Whatever you got.
think, let's pick something from the second time we recorded, because those were.
Yeah, but just play like the end of Catalyst, like the last minute of it or something. That was a fun one.
Yeah. Here, I'll pull this up.
I haven't heard this stuff in a while. I don't have the files on my computer, so I got to get them from you one of these days.
Yeah. All right. One sec. Anyways,
Yeah, that's a little bit of what we.
a
we
little,
did today.
That sounds great.
a little bite.
Awesome.
That's really cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
It was interesting. I mean, that was like when we recorded later on in high school. The first time we recorded, we were still learning some.
Well, that was an interesting one because I think we didn't know how you're supposed to record a CD, so we just went in there and did guitar, bass, and drums live for everything in like 1 or 2 takes. And we're like, all right, we made an album. Go in there and sing. And
It was like
funny going back to it because there's so many obvious little like mistakes that we just left in. It's like it's fine, right? We played the song. It's like, oh, you're supposed to do the instruments individually? No. What? No.
It was like 7 tracks for 2 days or something. Or I don't know.
It was crazy how much we just like plowed through that thing and knocked it out. It's funny now. I don't think I have the confidence to do that, but back then I was like young and like oh shit,
You don't know any better.
I'm not making any mistakes.
Yeah.
Where now I listen to every single note and be like, oh, that was a little bit sharp. I got to do that again. That bend was wrong. We got to scrap the whole thing. Throw it in the trash.
Yeah, good times. That was, I think on a previous episode, I had mentioned that the first time I ever recorded in a studio was like it was in San Francisco, and it like was with this like pirate guy.
Winter.
Yeah. And so that was the, we were in a band that recorded with a pirate. It was.
He actually looked like a pirate?
Yeah, dude. He had like these really tight, swashbuckling leather pants and like a really like loose flowing pirate shirt. And,
I would say he looked like a combination between like Jack Sparrow and any member of Blind Guardian. I don't know if that's too much of a deep cut metal reference.
I know Blind Guardian.
Yeah, well,
Where are you from in the Bay Area? I used to live in the East Bay.
Oh, San Ramon.
I used to live in El Sobrani for a bit.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. We lived in San Ramon. Have you heard of San Ramon?
I think it's really close. It's by like the Hilltop Mall, isn't it? It's like in like San Pablo, it's that sort of area.
Yeah, it's more of like the suburban conservative hellhole. If you go just a few, like another extra half hour east from Berkeley, and then you find where all of like the white flight people decided to set up their suburban gated enclaves. And that's San Ramon. It's Chevron's world headquarters. So it's like when you drive into town, sort of like the Eye of Mordor is like towering over the city, like, because petrocrime. But yeah, San Ramon. It was a beautiful town.
It was, I mean, it's weird. Like, Jay, I don't know if you probably had a similar experience where, like, we grew up in San Ramon and we kind of felt like, oh, this is just like your, just your regular town. And then once you leave, normal. What's that?
Yeah, this is normal.
Right. And then once you leave San Ramon, you're like, oh, fuck. Like, what was that?
I think Jim and Brian have a similar thing with their part of Ohio.
So I want to know.
Yeah, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Let's hear about this. So whereabouts in Ohio are the two of you from?
I come from a little town called Chagrin Falls. It is actually called Chagrin Falls. That's real. Yeah. A little town in Northeast Ohio called Chagrin Falls. Not too far from where Jim is from.
Yeah, like the city I kind of moved all over between Pittsburgh and I never lived in Cleveland, which is where Chagrin Falls is very close to, but I lived between those two cities. And but I spent a lot of time in Youngstown, Ohio, which is like, it's a cool place, but it's a little seedy, so, but don't hold it against me. Youngstown had some good qualities. So I'm from there.
Jim's got some connections to the family.
Say that online. You can't say that online.
Yeah. Hey, great. Now that's state's evidence. Jeez.
I might know a guy, but that was a long time ago. I don't know that guy anymore.
If you find all of us at the bottom of the lake with cinder blocks tied to our feet, we know what happened.
It's Brian's fault.
This is off the record, right?
Spill the beans.
We'll cut it out of the syndicated.
Assuredly not
episode.
Off the record. Yeah. Can you edit this in post? Can we edit this in post?
Plausible deniability, Jim.
Ohio.
His face with those little blocks.
It's one of those deep fakes or whatever, right? Yeah, I got it. Exactly.
Okay, here's a little funny bits. Talking about how Brian and I both got out. I met Trent Reznor here in LA a few years back. He was a composer for Gone Girl, that really messed up movie. If you didn't see that movie, you got to watch it. It's
good.
totally break your brain. But anyway, he composed that with another guy. And so I was at a screening where he was talking about the composition, him and his co-composer. So it was kind of like an interesting thing. And then you got to go up and meet the composer. So he's from our area. He was, I think, born in like Sharon, Pennsylvania, spent a lot of time in Cleveland, wrote his first record up there and stuff, like as he was working as engineer. But I was like, I just wanted to connect with him. So I was like, hey man, I'm from Youngstown, it's like, just love your music, blah, blah, blah. And like the only thing he said to me, as soon as I said I was from Youngstown, he shaking my hand. He's like, oh, you got out. I swear to God, across my heart.
Oh my God, I love it.
That's my Trent Reznor story.
Amazing.
Wow. I bet Trent. I mean, it sounds like Trent Reznor's a good guy. He's one of those dudes that I would not regret meeting. I hear some good stories about him.
No, and I'm liking his pivot towards film scoring. I think he did a great job with Watchmen on HBO. If you guys have seen that, he did the score for that.
Fantastic.
Great show.
Yeah.
Thought he just knocked it out of the park.
I didn't
heard
realize that
was
he
hella
scored
mean
that.
for Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Sorry, what'd you say, Ruben?
I heard he was like hella mean during like the Marilyn Manson sessions.
Oh,
Like when he was producing their I forget what record it was. I think it was like what is it, American Family or something like that. Portrait of American Family.
oh.
And he
Wow.
would like fucking throw the guitars down and stuff like that from
Oh,
the
no.
guitarist, He would be
That's like Phil
let me show
Spector
you how to
shit.
play it, and then he would like break the guitar,
Oh, damn.
Well, is this
Crazy.
is this like early Trent Reznor, or is this more
yeah,
modern?
It's early Trent Reznor. Way
Okay.
early Trent Reznor.
Because
Yeah, in the
early
90s.
Trent Reznor was troubled for sure.
He was.
Yeah, he was not having a good time.
If it says anything
right.
about Northeast Ohio, Trent Reznor and Marilyn Manson are from where Brian and I are from.
Well, that does it.
Speaks volumes.
That's the kind of musician that has grown in that area. The really, really solid, straight ahead, sane ones.
Yeah.
Wholesome family values.
The casual musicians are from Ohio.
Yeah. Oh, good times.
So I hear you mention that you've played Trip Santa Monica. Sorry.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, we played there as well. We enjoyed it. There's some interesting like technical stuff that happened, but
As there always are with small venues, but
right.
yeah, no, that was the last show we did right before lockdown. It was like the day before everything kind of shut down. We had a show booked. I'm like, should we still do this? And we're like, well, no one's gonna show up, whatever, And then so we get there, we start playing. As soon as people walk in the door, I'm like, no, go home. Don't watch this. Don't see music. Go, leave. But that was a nice last hurrah to have, when we still had live music in the world.
Right. Yeah.
It's a fun little place. I think
that was our first show as well. Let's
Yeah.
hopefully it does not bookend us. But
but
that was our first show and our last
the
show.
orange one manages to kill us all before we get to get on stage again.
It
Yeah,
would
who
not.
knows? Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting you say that because we played this place up in San Jose called the Art Boutique, which we've frequented over the years, but it was Zeke Zero's here, his first show with us. And we were really excited, oh man, the beginning of the year and this year's gonna be so cool and we're gonna do so much.
Right.
And I think we played that March 7th, and then by the next weekend, venues were all
closed.
Yeah.
Crazy times.
Including our CD release show was we had to just put a screeching halt on that. But
man, I'm sorry, that sucks.
That blows.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because I mean musicians from like local up to superstars. I mean anybody who released any kind of music this year, it's kind of like what are they supposed to do with it? They can't
tour
go out
it,
and
right?
promote it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're trying to record as much stuff as we can while this lockdown's going on. I've been investing a bunch of more home recording equipment so I can track guitars and stuff at home.
Nice.
Because previously Jim has a nice studio set at his place, so we would do everything over there. But I think our kind of goal is we want to get as many songs finished so that once the world does open back up again, we can go out there and shower everyone. Like, here, listen to it, 10 tracks, blah, Which for
That's
10
good.
tracks, it's not a lot for a lot of people, but for prog rock.
Oh, dude! I mean, that's like 5 hours worth of material.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, some of this stuff is overly
In
ambitious
17
put
years.
together. There's moments when we're recording where I'm like, why the fuck did I write this? I hate myself so much. You know, like trying to get the lick right. I'm like, no, I'll get it. One more take. This is my fault. You know?
Also,
Yeah.
programming the time changes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
every
Well, that's
measure.
another thing is we're really into, I think one of the signature things we sort of worked into our sound is trying to incorporate a lot of meter changes while still making them sound natural.
Mhm.
So a lot of progressive rock kind of will purposefully do things in like 7 or 5 or whatever to, you know, actively disjoint things. And I kind of enjoy trying to take weird time signatures like that and put a groove or a like flowing melody over them. So instead of feeling disjointed, it just feels like a coherent thing and you don't realize it's something weird until you think about it. But the downside to that is programming click tracks is another one of those, you know, Sisyphean rolling a boulder up a hill and then you realize you did something wrong. And you go, oh, it's a quarter note triplet modulation. Yeah. You know, so that's.
How long did At the Edge take us to program into Pro Tools?
Oh, Lord, that one. Yeah, there's one tune of ours where the time signature changes pretty much every bar. And when we were programming the clicks in, I think it was like a multi-day affair of all of us just sitting around and like trying to figure it out. We had like notepads and shit, you know. But,
Should we play that? You want to play At the Edge?
yeah. So yeah, here's a little bit of. In fact, that song that's the main time signature. It's 11/8, which is basically like a 5-beat pattern with a long beat in the middle. So it's 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2, which is on paper a pretty weird mathematical rhythm. But when you listen to it, it actually just feels kind of like a dance with like a little bit of a lift in the middle. So that's what we were kind of going for with this one.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, let's check it out. Nice.
That's a
Was that
short
an
song.
intentional fade out?
Yeah, that's just the intro.
Oh.
This is these tunes aren't completely finished. They're still in the oven, if you will. And but this is a little excerpt to hear what's going on. You know,
Cool.
that's easily an 8-minute song.
Yeah, that
wow.
one is that one goes through
That's
all
long.
the
That's a long one.
excesses of progressive rock. It's, you know, like, yes, I hope you enjoy our jazz odyssey, but we kind of wanted to do we kind of wanted to get weird with it on purpose.
Sure.
Just to, you know, to have one where we really take it out as far as it goes. Once you get to the middle of that song, it's a bunch of atonal crazy shit with like every effect on the pedal boards all turned on at once, pretty much. You know, that's when we're working. We got a couple others. Hey Jim, you want to play maybe a little bit of Great Filter? This is
sure.
This is one of our heavier tunes. This is usually the one we like close shows with.
Nice.
And yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's some of the stuff we got in progress for you.
In
Prague.
Progress.
Yeah, go follow us.
Progress.
Find our page on Facebook, Chickenbox. Is it Chickenbox Band, Jim?
Yeah, it's Chickenbox Band everywhere.
And everywhere. Go find us, make friends with us. And when these songs are all done, hopefully should not be too much longer. We're getting pretty close to them being finished. Check them out and hear them all.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
I'll say this again before the episode is over, but I mean, I'm really looking forward to like actually playing some shows with you guys.
I would love that. That'd be so much
yeah.
fun.
That'd be awesome.
You know, in some other timeline where Donald Trump didn't completely screw the pooch, we'd probably be doing that right now. So I'm sure those other versions of us are quite happy. But yeah, no, dude, I would love to do that. Once we play some shows again, we got to get on that. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I found our first flyer if you want to see it.
Oh yeah. let's
absolutely.
This was the chicken I demanded. If I was going to acquiesce to the name, the chicken had to have laser eyes and he had to be floating through the cosmos.
That's awesome.
It kind of looks like Schrodinger's chicken, Jay.
Yeah, right. He's both. Well, he's not alive and dead at the same time because the chicken's immortal. But yeah.
Oh, right.
He's both omnipresent and omniscient at the same time. I don't know.
I like the aliens partying in the background there. That's cool.
The artwork is actually, my daughter actually did the artwork. She did all the background artwork and drew the chicken. It's our first chicken.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And
she's quite an out there artist. She does really cool stuff.
That's awesome.
That's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I need to insist on bringing up is, okay, so I moved down to LA back in 2014, and one of the first people I reconnected with was Jay Rubottom here. And, you know, back when I actually had gaps between work, you know, we put together these shorts.
Oh no.
called Banana Frampton. And for anybody who doesn't know, Jay was the composer of such hits as Sex Planet.
I did write Sex Planet.
Let's see, you're the voice actor for The Lettuce Cop. You're the voice actor for Eusebius Cobb. And
Eusebius Cobb was one of my favorites. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I try to basically take every crazy old studio bass player I've ever met or worked with here in Los Angeles and mash them together into like one. Because there's a very specific type of like old grizzled bass player who's done every gig under the face of the sun. And you show up to the gig with them and you're like, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Jay. Good to play with you. And they get their bass and they're like, hey, good as
Yeah.
All right. And then squeezing and somehow I that's not one specific person, by the way. That's just bass players. That's
Everybody.
I made peace that is what someday I will just become. Someday I'm going to be that guy. So that character was just me preemptively leaning into it.
And I'm still trying to find out who Stanley McGrimlick is. That was I
think I had a whole character concept for Stanley McGrimlick in my head, and we never went with it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he was just supposed to be like the archetypal shredder, like Guthrie Govan and Steve Vai had a baby, and they were an animated piece of food. Imagining that's what that would be.
Yeah, it's we made some episodes, and then I reached a point where I just stopped having hiatuses basically.
Yeah.
And then that was the end of that. But yeah, there were so many ideas. There was an idea that you had, and I apologize for anybody who doesn't know who this is, what this is that we're talking about. But
Banana Frampton, man.
I just remember Kurt Russell. I just remember Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Kurt Russell with an eye.
Oh yeah, you voiced Riz Mazizzi. That's right.
I think Freddie did one of the pickle people for us.
Yeah, and then
Freddie
you were the
not
little
here.
guy. You were the little guy. His name was Riz Mazizzi.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yes, I did but all he did was say like 3 lines in a Patrick Stewart voice.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Number 1. I don't know. That's all he was for.
There's an idea that you had where Mr. Tomato would get killed, and then the very next episode he'd just be Mr. Tomato Sauce. Like he got all, you know what I mean? Like maybe he got all diced up and and killed, and then the very next episode he would just be like a jar of his guts, and he'd just be Mr. Tomato Sauce.
Oh yeah, we did some weird murder mystery plot we wanted to work into. That's good times.
Do you have this? Can you play any of this? Like
it's pretty weird.
It's a pretty big setup, yeah.
I'll play a little thing here. Just because I don't know. That was a ton of fun. Sorry, it's gonna take a minute to pull this up. But yeah, one of these days when I'm finally unemployed, maybe we can make some more of these.
Oh yeah, man, that'd be so much fun.
How many episodes did you guys make total?
Like 5 or 6, probably.
I think it was like 6, yeah.
Yeah.
And you had that cool short that you did with Mad Max, right when Mad Max
oh yeah, with the guitar.
came out. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
All right.
AB. Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, okay, here's one. All right, I'll just kind of move forward to. This is so. I'll just play a little bit of this. I apologize. I didn't mean to bring Banana Frampton into this, but
hey man,
I couldn't
Glad
resist.
you did.
That was brilliant. Oh my god! I can you send me the links so I can watch
I'll send it to you later.
all of that? I mean, really,
Guys,
you should just go to Comedy Central and just like, I mean, oh my gosh.
Guys, can we cover Sex Planet?
Oh,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's 2
It's all
chords
yours.
and it's-
Can we do it in 7? We have to do Sex Planet in 7, please.
Sex Planet. I don't know. Terrible.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying. It was so funny. Can't wait to watch the whole thing. I swear.
Just think Peter Frampton, but switch Peter with banana, and then you'll find it.
Okay. Banana Frampton. I'll look for it. Oh my gosh.
Fun stuff.
So, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I just never knew that about you, Jay. I never knew you wrote Sex Planet. I mean, that's like, you know, I learned some new stuff about Jay.
Yeah, it's a big hit from the 80s.
Excited.
Yeah, you know, it was a chart topper.
I mean, exciting. It's very exciting. I'm not excited.
1985.
I'm not saying that.
It's really big in Norway right now, right?
Yeah. Right. They're just catching up with it. It's like the new.
I'm very excited. I have to go for a minute. I'll be right back.
Cracking me up.
So, fellas, I want to know. I mean, you know, this is obviously a hard question because just the time and place we're in right now. Oh, hey, it's a dog.
It's Pinto.
Oh, Pinto.
Pinto. Come on. It's Pinto.
Yeah,
He's
he's our studio mascot.
He's the best boy.
So, you know, I know with the time and place that we're in right now, it's hard for a lot of musicians to answer this question, but what do you have in store for, you know, what's coming up in the future? I mean, you know, obviously live shows are probably going to be not until 2021, but, yeah, what are some things for us to look forward to from Chickenbox?
Yeah, well, you know, like we were saying, we got these tracks we're working on. We're hoping to probably have, you know, like a 9 or 10 song album done. You know, once we get, I mean, it's you know, one tune at a time, but that's what we're looking at in terms of stuff that we've got arranged, that we're sketching out, putting together. And so just, you know, follow us. We got Instagram, Facebook, find our SoundCloud, and when new stuff is out, you know, we'll plug it and release it, and you can hear it. We got maybe, Jim, you had like one more clip, right? Of Read the Weather, didn't you?
I think you're muted.
Yeah, we have Read the Weather. We can share.
Yeah, play the beginning. Here's just another bit of you know, just the beginning of another tune we're working on. This one's kind of a similar thing with like the Weird Time signatures, where we were trying to make it still feel like it was like a flowing kind of you know, organic thing rather than like a bunch of weird math. And this whole intro is us doing harmonized guitar tapping. So extra.
Yeah, we're both doing like two-handed tapping.
Yeah, so you know, just to basically scare off the audience. It's just what that's
It's
for.
it's really fun because like I was actually in a lesson with somebody and I was teaching somebody how to do some tapping thing, and I was like experimenting myself with this two-hand tapping, and so I was just like, and then like I was like, you know, we're jamming at rehearsal, and I was like, Jay, I wrote this thing, and then he was like, sweet, so he wrote this tapping, like this harmonized high tapping thing that goes with it, and I think we're all very excited about this too. It's super
Sweet.
fun. So you can hear the intro, but you have to come back for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Actually,
We're not gonna give away the cow.
I gotta share my audio for any of it. So give me a moment.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah, so little taste of another tune.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really high energy. Like when we play shows, it's just like all this like really complex music, but you know, we worked on it enough to where it's kind of we can all manage it. But it's just like when we play, it's just like super like high energy like that the whole time. You know, you go in the next part, and it's like God, it's like this next thing, and it's just like kind of keeps you going. So like hopefully like it's a prog band people can dig, you know, and like.
Yeah,
Yes,
we try to kind of explore a lot of the different genres within like hard rock that we like. You know, there's one of our tunes where there's parts of it that are very much like, I almost feel like plagiarizing Soundgarden. Not literally, don't quote me on that, but you know, like things where like, you know, I really enjoy mixing in a lot of that like 90s rock that you and I really kind of grew up in and wrote a lot of the stuff, you know, like the band we were in. I really always have a soft spot in my heart for like those bands, the early 90s, like Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. And I feel like those are colors and flavors on the musical spectrum that don't get incorporated into prog rock as much.
Oh,
and
interesting.
a lot of the progressive bands that I like, you know, I really enjoy groups that are able to kind of pull together different disparate parts of, you know, different rock genres or even outside of that, but still have it somehow come together in a way that makes sense, but still going to a bunch of different places. And so like that song, once you guys get a chance to hear the whole thing, once we're done putting it together, that's one where it goes through a whole bunch of different moods and has moments where it, kind of, I sort of wrote the middle of it as like a time machine back to where it goes through like 70s rock until it crashes into like a straight up like 1950s doo-wop progression.
Oh, nice.
That then immediately jumps into some crazy heavy thing to end it. And so it's just sort of stuff like that where we're trying to be creative and be weird with it, but not be overly alienating, just kind of trying to like.
The interesting thing is, though, I kind of like, as an audience member, what's really cool about what you're doing is like, you're giving people something that they're not going to be able to predict or expect. And I think that's really awesome. It's like the audience watching you guys as a band, it's sort of like, I don't want to say it's like magic tricks or anything, but you know what I mean? It's the same kind of experience where it's like, oh, like, where are they going to go and what are they going to do with this? Which I think is something also that I've really also always loved about prog rock in general, is it's very like, let's play the music, but let's also play with the experience that the audience is having specifically. And I think that's really cool and admirable. So.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's part of the fun of it, is trying to bring people on a journey where you go to a bunch of different places. But I think the real struggle, and this is something that I think we're still always working on, is having it all sound recognizably like you. Like, that's definitely that band, even when it goes to some very out there places. And there's some groups I can think of that are very, like Yes or King Crimson, even, they're like those early bands like that, where they would do those 20-minute odysseys. I think like Close to the Edge, that's one of my favorite songs in the world, and that's close to 20 minutes long, and it goes all over the frickin' place, in terms of really heavy rock to like choral breakdowns and organ music and stuff like that. But it's still, the whole thing sounds like identifiably not just that band, but that period of that band. And so I think that's kind of what we're trying to do, is make a unifying sort of Chickenbox sound that still is willing and eager to do some weird shit.
Sure. Yeah.
So
very cool.
I've always thought to myself, casual prog rock fans listen to Pink Floyd, but real hardcore prog rock fans listen to Yes.
Yeah.
That's when you're in. Is when you're in.
My wife actually played with Yes. To
really?
Drop a name. Yeah, she played a while ago, like maybe 2003, something like that. She's a violinist, and
oh wow,
she got to play a gig with them in Cleveland.
Damn, that's
cool.
awesome.
They did an orchestra tour, so that was like, and she had a homie that like was booking the gigs. So she's like, yeah, I'll take that gig. That's her favorite band, like, too. So she said she had a hard time not singing along the whole time. There was like a microphone in her face, and she was like,
that's amazing.
Were they kind to her?
Yeah, she actually knows them really well, because her and her friends, like, we're all nerdy people, and her music school buddies, they would go and see Yes on like a bunch of tours. So they got to meet them like several times, and like she knows John and Steve, and most of them would recognize her, because they've been to like so many shows, and they would talk to them after the show and whatnot.
Nice. That's awesome. I always thought it would be funny if there was another band that was like a rival of theirs named No. And I'm sure there is a band out there called No, but they obviously haven't received the amount of acclaim that Yes has received. Well, fellas, I am always the bearer of bad news when it comes to wrapping up the show. And I always have to apologize to every guest. I'm the time police. But honestly, thank you for coming on. Thanks for sharing your music. We're really looking forward to hearing the whole EP release. And really, I with a lot of our guests, I always feel like, man, I'm looking forward to the next time we can have you guys on. So, maybe we'll hit you up in a few months to jump back on.
That'd be great. And once the world is open back up again and live music is a thing, we got to get out there and play some shows together, bud. That would be a great time. I'd love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Count us
good.
in.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Rock and roll. Hell yeah.
All right. Well, to our audience out there, thank you for watching as always, and hope you had a great time as always. This is Hanging with the Friends. We're making new friends all the time. Every Thursday, 8:30 to 9:30. Musical guests galore. And tonight we had Chickenbox. You guys are rad. We will see you on Hanging with the Friends next week.
See you guys.
Awesome. Thanks for having us, bud.
Thank you.
You guys.